Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're about to transform the center of your living room from an afterthought into a polished editorial masterpiece. If you love realistic, beautiful home decor and practical, structured design rules, you are going to love what we've got queued up today.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've literally all been there, right? You buy these gorgeous little items, a candle here, a stack of books there, but when you actually put them all on your table, it just looks messy. It feels cluttered instead of curated, and you're left frustrated, kind of wondering why your styling pieces just don't seem to work together. Well, today, we're stripping away the guesswork.
Simple elements, beautiful impact. This is basically our core mantra for today's explainer. You absolutely do not need a massive budget or a degree in interior design to make this work. As we explore these formulas, just remember that creating a visually satisfying space is really all about keeping the elements simple to maximize their impact.
Phase 1, the vibe. Let's pinpoint your exact aesthetic.
Here's the golden rule we're going to stick to. 3 pieces, endless possibilities. You'll notice we aren't overwhelming the table here. By selecting just 3 carefully chosen decor items, you create an incredibly solid foundation for literally any style.
Let's rapidly fire through these 5 core aesthetics. First up, minimalist. Less is more. You achieve this with stacked neutral books, a sculptural ceramic vase, and a single candle, focusing entirely on form and function. Second, bohemian. Layered, textured, and full of personality, using things like wooden beads, a small potted plant, and an artisanal bowl. Third, farmhouse. Rustic, warm, and rooted in tradition. Think a distressed wood tray, mason jar florals, and vintage books. Fourth, Scandinavian. Clean, light, and inspired by nature, utilizing light wood accents, a simple glass vase, and linen coasters. And finally, glam. Elevated, luxurious, and all about the details, perfectly captured with a mirrored tray, a crystal candle, and a striking gold decorative object. Notice how each aesthetic perfectly balances those 3 foundational items.
So, the absolutely crucial concept we need to master here is a grouping. A grouping is a distinct cluster of curated decor items arranged to act as a single, cohesive visual unit. You're not just placing 10 loose items randomly on a table, you're creating distinct groupings. Understanding this is the secret to unlocking the geometry of table styling.
Phase 2, the geometry. And we're going to kick things off with square tables.
Notice how a square table basically acts as a grid. Looking at this gorgeous setup, you can see the surface areas perfectly divided into 4 distinct groupings. And catch the key detail here. The groupings have varying heights. This is absolutely essential because it prevents the table from looking flat and lifeless.
Let's walk through the exact steps to recreate that look for yourself. Step 1. Start with your tallest point as your focal point, something like a large vase with real or faux stems. Step 2. Gather your smaller decor items, maybe a candle and a wick trimmer, and anchor them together in a decorative tray. Step 3. Stack some books. This is a brilliant little trick to artificially create height variation for your smaller items. And Step 4. Top it all off with a sculptural decorative object, like a beautiful curved arch. 4 steps, 4 groupings, 1 perfectly balanced square table.
But hey, what if your table doesn't actually have corners? Let's move to the geometry of round tables.
Now, for round tables, the physical size, specifically the diameter, completely dictates the number of groupings. You literally can't just slap that 4-grid square rule onto a circle. It just doesn't work. The negative space is entirely different.
Here's the exact math so you know precisely what to do based on your own table's dimensions. If your round table is 30 inches or less, stick to exactly 1 central grouping. If it's 40 inches or less, you graduate to 3 groupings arranged in a subtle triangle shape. If you have a large round table, 50 inches or less, then you can utilize 4 groupings. And a super quick note for upholstered ottomans acting as tables, always use 1 central grouping, usually anchored by a large tray to give yourself a hard surface.
Let's look at a real-world application of this. Check out the incredibly warm, inviting textures in this spring setup. This is a smaller round table, so what do we see? 1 central grouping. Everything is corralled beautifully inside a large, round wooden tray. Inside that tray, they've applied our 3-piece rule flawlessly, a beautiful textured beige vase with white florals, sleek white candlestick holders, and a really fascinating travertine look knot statue sitting right on a book. It's clean, it's digestible, and it looks amazing.
Let's see how this builds as we shift gears to the geometry of rectangle tables.
Since rectangles come in such a wide variety of lengths, the absolute easiest and most common method is just using two main groupings. Look at this incredibly chic setup. On one side, we have a large, dark, textured vase with greenery. On the other side, we have multiple smaller items, two ceramic vases and a decorative knot on a book, but they are all anchored together inside a single woven tray. It balances the visual weight beautifully from left to right.
But remember, depth matters more than width. If you have an extra deep rectangular coffee table, we're talking anything greater than 26 inches deep, you might find that two groupings leave the front or back looking a bit empty. In that case, the rules say you may want to add a middle, third grouping. This is a fantastic place to use decorative boxes, which not only fill that visual void, but practically hide your remote controls and make the whole space feel super cozy.
It all circles back to this incredibly powerful summary: simple elements, beautiful impact. 3 pieces, endless possibilities. Styling your coffee table isn't magic, and it's definitely not random. It's a highly accessible art form when you follow the exact formulas and geometry we've broken down today. Whether you lean minimalist, boho, or glam, and whether your table is square, round, or rectangular, the blueprint for success is right in front of you.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. What does the center of your living room say about your personal style right now? With these formulas in your back pocket, you are completely empowered to curate a space that's as beautiful as a high-end editorial photo, yet completely tailored to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go out there and restyle your space.